Directly from a lawmaker who was in on this vote, who supported this legislation. Kenneth Christensen Berth is a member of the Danish People's Party. He joins us now via Skype from Copenhagen. Thanks, sir, for being with us. First of all, you support this legislation, but I understand you think it doesn't go far enough. Could you explain your position?
Well, the Danish People's Party are in favor of an Australian model. That is a model that says that people who come to Denmark shall not be permitted to stay in Denmark indefinitely. And second of all, we would like to say to these people who are coming to Denmark that they should not calculate on staying in Denmark at all. We would like to refer these people to countries in the vicinity of the country where they fled. We're not interested in getting a whole lot of people who we're supposed to integrate, but we know as a fact that it is impossible to integrate these people.
Why is it impossible? I'm just curious why you think it's impossible to integrate asylum seekers. What is it about them that makes it impossible for them to fit in Denmark?
Well, Denmark has taken a lot of asylum seekers since 1983. So has a lot of other Western European countries. And we see the same problems all over Western Europe. The immigrants which have come and their second generation are more crime-prone than inhabitants in general are in Denmark. They have a lower frequency of working than Danish people have. And we have a rising Islamic problem in Denmark. We have a number of Islamic parties, Hizb ut-Tahrir, Salafists, and so on, who are making it very problematic to integrate people in this country.
But your country not only is a signatory of a refugee convention, it was the first country in the world to ratify the 1951 Refugee Convention, which compels you not to turn away people who are fleeing war and persecution. Are you advocating that these people who've already fled a war zone should be turned back and sent home?
I'm advocating that we are getting the wrong people in Denmark today. We have seen people who have claimed asylum in Denmark going back to their country, like Iran, for instance, because they weren't allowed to attend enough discotheques while in Denmark. We've seen people today demonstrating because they would not like to be sent to Jutland, but would like to stay in the vicinity of Copenhagen. People who have that kind of worries are not genuine refugees in my world.
Wow.
We would like to help as many as possible from the Danish people's point of view, but we would like to help them in the vicinity of the countries they are fleeing. There is no reason for people who are from Syria and Afghanistan to go to Denmark. They could as well be helped in Pakistan, in Syria, sorry, not in Syria, in Jordan, in Lebanon, and in Turkey.
But, sir, there are millions of Syrian refugees in Turkey, Jordan, other countries. They have no right to work. They can't put their kids in school. They have no health care. Of course, it is their right to want to seek asylum in a country that can provide them with better living conditions. Many of them have degrees and diplomas and contribute to society in very productive ways. You think all the 20,000 people who've made it to Denmark are people who are complaining they can't go to discotheques enough? It just feels like you're painting everyone with a very broad brush.
Unfortunately, it's not quite as you say. In Denmark, after 1 year, 3% of refugees are employed. After 3 years, 10% are employed. And so it goes. There are a huge amount of unemployment among refugees and second generation too. We have enormous problems helping these people integrate in our society. In the US, you have a presidential candidate, Mr. Donald Trump, who has opted for not taking in Muslims at all in the US.
Do you support that? Do you support that position? You think all Muslims should be barred from Denmark?
I think that we should only take the people to Denmark who cannot be helped in the vicinity of their neighborhood, whether on their country, their original country, whether or not they are Muslim or not. I want, and the Danish People's Party want, an Australian model.
Okay, but do you agree with a position such as the one of Donald Trump that, for instance, Muslims should be barred from entering Denmark? That you'd be happier with another group of refugees from countries that you think would integrate better? Would that be fair to say?
It would be fair to say that in Denmark, Muslims have not done a very good job integrating, whereas people from, for instance, Thailand, the Philippines, China, and so on has done vastly better. They are not as crime-prone as people from the Middle East and Africa. They are better employed. And, of course, we do not have a problem with Islamism among these people.
But, I mean, so you're saying that Muslims necessarily create an Islamist problem. Is that your position?
If you look upon the western part of Europe, would it be fair to say that there are problems with Islam and Islamist groups all over Western Europe?
I mean, I'm asking you if you think that being Muslim necessarily means that it represents some sort of Islamist menace.
And I'm asking you not to disregard reality.
Mm-hmm.